Hello, hello, hello. Let's talk about Qchtt by Salman Rushdie, Chapter 7, where Qchtt and his imaginary at the beginning of the chapter, black and white sun, Sancho are out on the road. They're in the west. Qchtt does a Sundance thing, which I don't know how well it works. He's out of breath and panting, ridiculous figure. Um, he's on the first valley of his quest, which apparently is the leaving behind of all beliefs and opening yourself up for the new beliefs to come. And they discuss love using, of course, the classics, which are in Qchtt's brain. The dating game, the thing that started off in color and then burst into uh, glorious color. Started off in black and white, burst into glorious color. Um, a hint at what is about to come with Sancho. Um, and Where the lovers talk from between walls, like Paramus and Thisbe, which I only know the reference, of course, because of Midsummer's Night's Dream, them making fun of that, and indeed it's a bit made of fun here, where Sancho pretends to be the other bachelors and the bachelorette or whatever it is, and then yes, actually that's I'm giving it away, but they then move on to the bachelorette and the bachelor, where yes, multiple, you get more and more contestants, more and more suitors, men. I'm talking about the men here, uh, competing for the bachelorette, and Sancho making the point, Quixote's thing of like, well, it's that true love always runs its course, even if it takes a while. Whereas Sancho's like, maybe it should also be giving the lesson that, you sometimes you have to accept defeat and that the other guy is going to outmove you and then you're just going to have to move on. And Quixote does not take that well and tells him to shut the fuck up, basically. And it's like, Sancho's like, oh, okay, under the clueless white guy, you're obviously, there's some darker things. I've awoken a bit of a beast here. And because Qchott yells at him for basically accessing that parts of his own brain, because Sancho is a projection of his own brain, and he just yells at him to stay the hell away. And um that night, after the fight, um um Sancho is expecting that he's going to get sucked into sleep, because basically, he has a projection of Quixote's mind. Whenever Quixote falls asleep, he is sucked into sleep, however unwilling himself. But this night, he stays awake, and before him appears an Italian cricket, Jiminy, something, Jiminy Cricket, in English, but he speaks with an Italian accent, and says that you're going to get to have an insula, which is of course a reference, because I've just finished Quixote, is a reference to that being the thing that is promised to Sancho Paz by Don Quixote, is he's going to get to govern a insula, which he gets to, a insula that is not actually an insula. He gets to govern a small town in part 2 of Don Quixote. But he's going to get an insula of the mind. And when Quixote awakes, he is a flesh and blood, in color, real human being, it appears, waving to campers who wave back at him. And they are going to embark on the quest. They're just waiting for the sign. And Quixote has a map spread out when a osprey flies over, takes a shit, and the shit hits New York. And it's like, aha! It's the sign. It's told us where we are. And it's like, really, your formerly imaginary son coming to life wasn't the sign. Bird shit is the sign, and yes, it is. So they are going to go off on their adventure. I guess we take it that that Sancho is now an independent, actual human boy, a real boy. We've gotten through the whole Pinocchio story there. and are now embarking on the second valley of the quest, which is love. And Qchtt is sending a letter to Miss Selma R about this, which he's writing saying, which Sancho's like, I think she's gonna find this off-putting. It's like, oh, nonsense, nonsense. So that is the story so far. Uh, I can almost see this as a mini series at this point. This lovely road trip across America of Qchtt and his formerly imaginary son, now made real, who wants to be able to buy stuff and develop a credit history, because that's how you are real in the real world. Is you have a credit history. Oh, and you'll need money too. Oh yes, money too. That's probably a good idea. All right, we will leave it there. Some little waggy black and white creature wants to go upstairs and have his breakfast. More videos later.